The Stompers open up a mini little 3-game homestand here at Arnold Field after 4 consecutive contests on the road. Sonoma swept the doubleheader on Sunday against Menlo Park and split the midweek series down in Southern California. But it's home sweet home for the Stompers. Look to keep the good times rolling, and it was a fun one last night, Roman. 3-2 the final in a tight one at Sinsheimer.
Yeah, and we saw some really unique plays there. The double pickoff obviously jumps off the page. I still don't know if I've ever seen that in a ball game, and just some really good small ball. 3 runs scored. They came off of a single and 2 walks for the Stompers. They were able to manufacture those runs. The problem was there were only 3 of them. They need to get the bats going here at home.
Today, it's another team from down in Southern California, the Filipino national team. They're all collegiate players, and almost 100% of them are connected to the Philippines in some way, their parents or their grandparents. So it should be a fun one. The Filipinos are 1-5 playing down there in the CCL South. But it's a special day here. Coach Gels, who spent 39 seasons leading the Sonoma State Seawolves, is being honored before the game. So we'll take a break. We're starting a little bit late today, but let's talk this baseball game that's coming up. After that, no Colton Boardman at the top of the lineup. He's a guy that's been there day in, day out. He's played in all 14 games. McCann Libby started all 14 games. He's not there either.
Yeah, it's a good day for him to get off. Libby had a good day yesterday and had a solid 4-game road trip. He just needs a day off, rest the legs. He's available on the bench, but he's worked really hard and deserves a day off.
Yeah, last one for you before we move over to this pregame ceremony. Let's talk about the bus ride, Roman. It's not easy. The bus came in 2:30 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, a long road trip, getting back super late. The team didn't have to be here till 4, but still a 14-hour return to the field is crazy. But hey, that's a great bus ride. They won their game, had a lot of fun. Listening to those guys on the bus is a heck of a trip, so it boosts the morale, but definitely a little bit tired.
Zach Pace will address the fans about John Gels, beg your pardon, his former manager when they coached together at Sonoma State. We'll be back with Roman's Radar and First Pitch. Welcome back. The second half of the Stompers pregame show today. Sonoma takes on PNT Philippines. That's the Filipino national team. They're playing in the CCL South this season, and not the ideal start for them. 1-5 the record. Sonoma enters 8-6. We've talked about how well the weekend into the early week went for Sonoma. 3-1 in their last 4 contests on the road. But you're back at home, and a place where last year they were so good at Arnold Field. They're just 4-4 in the early going this season.
Yeah, they've struggled at home, and that one loss through their last 4 really should have been a win. They had the lead going into the 9th, a couple free passes, and just some poor pitching on the bump caused them to fall in 12 innings to San Luis Obispo. Ultimately, they could be 4-0, and that's the confidence they need to play with as they take on a struggling PNT team and play through the weekend.
Yeah, 1 against PNT, the Philippines, and then tomorrow it's the Arroyo Seco Saints, another team out of the CCL South. And then Saturday, the Menlo Park Legends here, and then the big one is Sunday, 4 o'clock. They hit the road to go to Monte Vista for the first time against the number 1 team in the CCL North. That is the Walnut Creek Crawdads, who play today as well. Sonoma third in the CCL North right now with an 8-6 record. And let's move to Roman's Radar as we wrap up the pregame show here today. And we'll start with Sonoma. A couple familiar faces aren't in the lineup. No Colton Boardman, no McCann Libby, but lots of options for your Stomp Watch player today.
Yeah, the middle's been replaced with Gideon Hahn and Max Handren. It's going to be Gideon Hahn today, comes into today hitting sub 100, just .083. He needs to have a big one today, and he's found ways to get on base, but needs to hit the ball well tonight.
Yeah, Trent Key's .515 is his on-base percentage. Let's go to the other side of things. Jackson Rowland takes the mound for the Stompers against the Philippines. Who do you have to watch out for on our visitor squad coming from the CCL South?
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Hudson Story. He's 2 for 8 on the year with 2 RBIs, making the most of his limited hits. He needs to have a big one today towards the bottom of the order if the Philippines are going to have a chance against a pretty hot Stompers squad.
Yeah, the pregame ceremony's done. The lineups have been announced. It's Andres Perez against Jackson Rowland. The Stompers look to keep the good times rolling with first pitch on the other side of the break. It's time for baseball from Arnold Field in Sonoma. Nice to be home for the Stompers. They don the home white uniforms yet again, and they take on Philippines national team. 1-5 out of the CCL South, Sonoma 8-6 out of the CCL North, but this does count for the standings, and Andres Perez is the one who's going to get the ball in the bottom of the first inning, and Jackson Rowland's going to get it in the top of the first. 185 pounds and 6'1" stands Mr. Rowland. He's out of Modesto, California. The righty, just 18 years old, has played 2 games this summer for Sonoma. None of them starts. 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, 3 hits allowed. So the whip's low, 2 earned runs, but 1 walk. He fills up the zone, and that's what the Stompers need to do today. Just 1 free pass issued yesterday. Maybe the Stompers have put that issue behind them. His last outing was on the 13th. 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk. He earned the win against Menlo Park. If you remember back, he got clipped in that 9th inning. They went down and walked it off thanks to Hirian Han, who finds himself playing shortstop today. Here is the lineup for the Philippines. The second baseman, Nomar Vazquez, leads off, followed by the designated hitter, Owen Stevenson, and the catcher, Dylan Tagium, hits third. The left fielder, Jonathan Torrente, is the cleanup man. The shortstop, J.J. Fagfumsent, hits fifth, and the right fielder, Stefano Lee, in the 6th spot. 7, 8, 9 goes the first baseman, Hudson Story, the center fielder, Tyler Primanto, and the third baseman, Malachi Lopez. But it's the leadoff man, Nomar Vazquez, digging in from the right side. Jackson Rowland on the bump. He's a righty. They are both set to go, and the first pitch of this Thursday evening affair is a called strike 1. 6:16 first pitch here from Arnold Field. It's 75 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, as that one's grounded to third. Shepler fields and throws, stretched by Keys, and the first out of this ballgame's retired on just 2 pitches. It goes 5-3. So you've heard half the infield, but that's Anthony Shepler at third base and Trent Keys at first base. Hirian Hans at short, Max Handren is at second. That's up the middle for Coach Pace. Nick Sebastiani in left, Landon Akers in center, Brady Shannon out in right. And that brings up Owen Stevenson out of Kentucky Wesleyan University. He's 0 for 13 on the season, looking for his first knock, and it won't come there as the hook drops in for strike number 1. Just to remind you, I'll be joined by Coach John Gels, who spent 39 seasons at the helm of Sonoma State. That's coming up in the top of the 2nd inning, and it's Roman and I the rest of the way. Stevenson just went 1 for 4 at his time at Kentucky Wesleyan. Not a lot of run this year for Stevenson, who awaits an 0-2 from Rowland. Here it is. Fouled in and out of the glove of Esteban Sepulveda, tasked with the catching duties today. PNT Philippines, that stands for Filipino National Team. They're based out of LA, and really just all but 2 or 3 guys have family connections to the Philippines, as that one's hit to the right side. Handren gloves on a hop and throws to first. He looks so smooth at third, and now at second. Throw him anywhere on the infield.
Just a great athlete, knows how to play the infield. He saw that one hit a little bit lofty. First bounce was in the dirt. He just created space in case of a bad hop or a weird spin, and then fielded well and made a good throw.
That brings up Dylan Tagium out of Masters College. Righty on righty. That one kicks past Sepulveda to the backstop. The count's 1-0, and that's the first ball that we've seen all day from Rowland. Just getting started, top of the first. The first 2 have been retired via the ground ball. The pitch inside, says Gary Frieders. Our TrackMan system agrees that one at 80 miles an hour from Rowland. And now he's down 2-0 to the 3-hitter Dylan Tagium, who's 4 for 17 with a couple of walks this season. He takes outside corner, called strike 85. Stompers, their home whites, Philippines, their road reds with the white sleeves. 2-1. Swing and a miss late on a fastball. 85 again, same spot. And Rollins battled back to even the count at 2-2.
And it's usually concerning. A guy gets 2 first outs quickly and then starts to fall behind in the count, but bounces right back, gets 2 strikes.
2-2 offer. Struck him out swinging. Chased the fastball. He just brought it further and further off the corner and gets the K. 1-2-3 go the Philippines in the first, with the Stompers bats coming up in the bottom half. Andres Perez has to match the 1-2-3 inning that Jackson Rowland turned in the top of this inning. Andres Perez, a right-handed pitcher. He's 6'3", 220 pounds, out of Los Angeles, California, going into his senior year at Fordham University, a long way from home out in the Bronx. He is 22 years old, 4 years older than Jackson Rowland, the Stomper for Sonoma. We'll see if the veteran has as much success as the young buck did in the top of the inning. For the Rams of Fordham in 2025, 12 appearances, none of those starts, 13 earned runs in 15 1/3 innings. He's made 2 appearances, both starts for the Philippines, 0-1 with a 6.30 earned run average, 4 walks and 5 Ks. He last pitched 6 innings against Santa Barbara back on the 13th. And here's the lineup that Zach Pace sends out there. The shortstop, Hyun Han, leads off, followed by the second baseman, Max Handren, in the second position in the lineup. The center fielder, Landon Akers, hits third, and the right fielder, Brady Shannon, cleans it up. The designated hitter, Connor Pulowski, hits fifth. 6-7 goes with third baseman Anthony Shepler and the catcher, Esteban Sepulveda. The left fielder, Nick Sebastiani, hits eighth, and Trent Keys rounds out the 9 for the Stompers. So Hahn, Handren, and Akers will be the 3 to hit.
Now batting, shortstop, number 1, Urian Hahn.
Hahn, all Bay Valley Conference first team. He had over 400 as the Los Medanos College shortstop. That's a 4.04 average and a 5.03 on base in just 43 games played for LMC. The first one to him finds the corner, 87 for a called strike 1. Hahn just 1 for 12 in league action so far. Gary Frieders behind the plate called that one a strike, but Hahn gives himself the second strike as he fouls it back. He's aided by John Pierce down the first baseline and Dylan Brewster down the third baseline. 0-2 to Hahn. The lefty takes high, and the count's 1-2. That fastball at 87 from the righty out of LA. 1 ball and 2 strikes. From the windup, Perez comes home, and Hahn takes upstairs again. It's been 4 straight fastballs after getting ahead 0-2. He's tried to warrant a chase upstairs and has yet to get Hahn to bite. The 2-2 coming to Hyun is sent foul down the left field line, up over the left field Margarita Lounge and over Jacob's Restaurant. The count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And I'm curious to see how this strike zone develops, because the first called one to Hyun was a little bit outside. Now he has to defend that pitch.
2-2. He defends that pitch exactly and sends it foul again. He just puts together a professional at bat every single time.
And that's a great approach. He didn't like the call. He looked back at Gary and was kind of confused because that ball was 2 or 3 off of the outside corner, but now he's gone back and swung at it because he knows he can battle it off.
2-2. Goes back off the corner, won't get the call that time. And the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. A changeup, the first off-speed we've seen so far. The 8th pitch of the battle. Hahn is called out on strikes, and he knew it. Slider came back and found the corner. So Gideon Hahn battles. He gets a quality at bat, but goes down looking. He's now 1 for 13, and the tough league stretch continues.
And that's his third strikeout in league play. A great sequence there from Perez. He went only fastballs, and then as soon as he really needed one, he went to the backdoor slider. A great pitch.
The first one to Max is outside, 1-0. Slider. So Handren out ahead. Not a guy you want to fall behind. The 1-0 coming. Right on left is lined. Fair inside the right field line. Kicks all the way into the corner. Handren hits second base, and Dave Hoke will stop him there. Stay hot, Max Handren. He was on base 3 times in slow, and he doubles in inning number 1.
That's his third double of the CCL campaign in just his 5th game with the Stompers. He's been electric coming in late.
That brings up Landon Akers coming off yesterday where he got to rest in game 2. Fouled the ball off his foot in extra innings of game 1 down in San Luis Obispo. That ball hit off his foot and then kicked up and hit him in the face. He's recovered from both of those injuries, and he's batting in the 3rd position today with an RBI out at second base. Front hip slider did not make it all the way back, so it's inside and high, 1 ball and no strikes. Handren at second, 1 out. Akers, a right-handed hitter against the righty Perez. The 1-0 is grounded back up the middle. The second baseman, Vasquez, ranged over. It's past him into center field, and Max Handren held up at third base. Dave Hoke was sending him. He didn't look up, and Hoke is going to go have a conversation with his second baseman. Dave Hoke was halfway up the line. A big wave, wanted to score him. Max didn't get his head up on that one.
Yeah, and kind of an uncharacteristic mental mistake there from Max. He just kind of jogged into third thinking they would roll it, get the out at first, but then it snuck through the middle. You just really hope they don't turn 2 here on Shannon and that run can still score.
Shannon's job now should have been 1 on, 1 in. Instead, it's runners at the corners with 1 out, and nobody's come across the plate so far. That one's inside, almost hits Brady. Shannon reached base twice in both games of the series down and slow. Max Handren reached base 3 times both games of the series. The 1-0 coming. Akers doesn't run from first, and Shannon hits a ground ball to short, could be 2. The relay to second, the turn to first, and they got him. And wow, that's not what you like to see at all for Sonoma. The double play ends the threat, and they should have had one. Max Handren didn't check the send sign from Dave Hoke, and just like that, the inning is over. That goes 6-4-3. They roll up Brady Shannon. We head to the 2nd inning of play in a scoreless ball game in Sonoma. Jackson Roland starts his second inning of work with a fastball off the corner at 84 miles an hour.
Now batting, left fielder number 15, Jonathan.
The Stompers really should have had a run in the top of this inning. Handren running on contact from second base. Akers' ground ball made it all the way up the middle, but he wasn't looking up. He just cruised into third, and Dave Hoke's send sign went to the wayside. The 1-1 is bounced towards second. Handren now has a chance on defense. He fields a short hop and throws him out at first. That brings up J.J. Fagfumsent. Started that 6-4-3 last inning.
Now batting, shortstop number 1, J.J. Fagfumsent.
Hopefully we'll be joined by John Gales, historic Sonoma State head coach, coming up later this inning. The 1-1 swung on and fouled into the glove. 0-1. Fagfumsent is 4 for 17, 2 walks so far on his CCL campaign. He takes off the corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch is sent into very shallow right. Trent Keyes angling back, and it's going to drop fair inside the line. There's really nobody's play there. Perfectly placed little pop-up off the end of the bat, and it drops for a single.
Now batting,
So 1 on and 1 out, and
number 20,
John Gale's on his way. He'll be joining us in just a moment. 39 seasons at the helm of the Sonoma State Seawolves. The pitch here is sent towards right center field. Shannon started back, now coming in. He makes the call and the catch in very shallow right center field, and there's 2 away.
now batting, first base number 70, Hudson Story.
That brings up a lefty in Hudson Story out of LA Mission College. John Gales will join us for the bottom of the second inning after Jackson Rowland can record the 3rd out, and a check back on first base. Fagfumsent is back with a dive. Hudson Story at 241 with 2 home runs and 7 driven in for LA Mission College this past season. He takes low outside, and the count's 1 ball and no strikes. Stompers got 2 hits but could not score in the top of this inning. And that's been a story all year of the Stompers struggling with the runners in scoring position. The pitch misses low outside, and the count's now 2-1. 2-0, beg your pardon. Story, a left-handed hitter, one of just 2 we've seen in the lineup so far. Rowland right on left comes home, and it's inside 3-0. Tyler Permanto 1 for 12 with 7 strikeouts, waits in the on-deck circle. But Rowland will look to battle back from behind in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. Hitters count, and it's in there for a called strike, a fastball at 83. Three balls and 1 strike. Fagfumsent off first, and a check on him from Rowland, not in time. The Stompers picked off a runner yesterday, got a caught stealing, and then, in the craziest play I've ever seen on a baseball diamond, Haroon Pelja with an inside move picked someone off, and then the trail runner got thrown out as well. So it was 2 pickoffs in 1 play. And the Stompers don't need that with 2 outs in the inning, but Rowland's going to have to work out of a little bit of a jam after he walks Hudson Story. There's first and second with 2 outs. A rally brewing for the Philippines, and Tyler Permanto, who's 1 for 12, would be a nice time for his second league hit. He swings and misses, chases the slider that just dies off the outer corner. It's 0-1. Rowland got ahead of the first 4 hitters but has struggled with the command a little bit. 2 on, 2 out in the second. The pitch is bounced foul down the third baseline, and the count's now 0-2. Primanto, a guy that has some strikeout in him. 7 Ks in just 12 at-bats so far this season. Roland way ahead. 0-2. Roland comes home, and the pitch is a called strike 3 at the knees. So no runs on 1 hit and 2 left. John Gels joins us on the broadcast for the bottom of inning number 2 when we come back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Welcome back for the bottom of the second inning here at Arnold Field in Sonoma. I'm Kieran Costa, joined by a very special guest, John Gels, who's having a ceremony before the game. Saw speeches from Zach Pace and a few others. What's it like to be back on the baseball field and hearing all those nice things?
No, it's just wonderful to be around those guys. They're just really good people, quality guys. Stompers are fortunate to have coaches like that.
Yeah, you never coached here for the Stompers, but 39 seasons at the helm of Sonoma State. Being one place for that long, you really built a culture there for the Seawolves.
It was an honor for me to have the opportunity. It was my father was really a hardworking guy and worked a couple jobs. He built a house with his own 2 hands, and I got to coach baseball my whole life, so I feel really fortunate that I was able to get paid for doing something I loved.
Exactly. I mean, I feel so lucky get to come to the ballpark every day and call it a job, but that's a lot of time you've spent on the baseball diamond. You missed the game now a year removed from being out there every day.
Yeah, I do miss the game, but getting to listen to you in the top of the second inning, how much fun it must be for you to paint a picture that people at home are listening to. It's a pretty cool job if you get a chance to do it.
It really is. Connor Pulowski's retired 3-1 to start the bottom of the second of a scoreless game, but let's really go into Zach Pace. I mean, now this is my second full season here. I've got to know Zach pretty well, and he speaks very highly of you. You coached him. You worked on the same coaching staff as him. What can you say about him? Really on the playing side first.
I paid him about $50 to say nice things about me tonight, but Zach played for me for a couple of years, and then he coached with me for like 11 years, 12 years, and then he played 11 years of pro ball. A very knowledgeable guy, very hard-working guy, really great fundamentals, really good student of the game, and just a really good person. So
Shepler cranks one to center, but Primanto's there, and the Stompers go quickly. I can tell you Zach Pace won't be happy that his first 2 guys have gone down in 3 pitches.
Yeah, that is something we always try to get guys to work the count. So, yeah, he won't be happy with that. He was the kind of guy that would have 10 and 11 pitch at bats.
Yeah, Zach Pace played under Coach Gels, coached with Coach Gels, coached for the Stompers, against the Stompers. That's another guy that's a California baseball lifer. Do you see any of your coaching style in him now that he's at the helm as a
you know what?
manager?
I think everybody, like all the guys I coached with and played for, I think you borrow something from everybody. So he's had a lot of good coaches. So I hope that he took one or two things from being with me. I was happy. Sorry.
Sepulveda goes down and the Stompers go down 1, 2, 3. We'll keep you around for another half inning. I feel like we're just getting started. Sorry to interrupt you. What were you saying about what you see in Coach Pace?
Well, I just see, we always cared about our players, not just as baseball players, but as people. And you can see that his players can feel that he cares about them and likes them. And there's a really good camaraderie. You can feel in the field with the Stompers. And just being here tonight, getting to see all the wonderful people from Sonoma County, just a great way to spend your summer.
It really is. No better place than baseball in Sonoma County. We've talked about the baseball side of things, but what about the other things? I guess Sonoma County specifically, you've spent so much time coaching baseball here. You alluded to it a little bit, but seeing all the people that came out to support you, what does really the fans of Sonoma County baseball mean to you?
Well, everything. I mean, there's so many great coaches that have come out of this county. I had 450 guys that played for me that went into coaching. We've got guys in Division I baseball and Division II baseball. We've got guys coaching high school all over the place that played at Sonoma State. We have, guys that made it to the big leagues and coached in the big leagues. It's just exciting to see. It's a sign that I'm old, but I've been really fortunate to have the opportunity to almost no matter, where you go, there's somebody that knows you from baseball. And that's really that's a fun thing.
Yeah, I'm Kieran Casa, joined by former Sonoma State head coach John Gels, who will stick around here for the bottom of inning number 3. And you talk a lot about your coaching tree and your player tree. Any one player that sticks out? I mean, you've had guys make it to the major leagues.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine if I just picked out one player? The rest of the guys would kill me.
Oh, you got to give me one.
You're trying to get me in trouble. Well, I'll tell you a neat one. Al Fagoni, who I played for a year at San Francisco State, he coached a kid at Livermore High School, and the kid's name was Randy Johnson. And I got to work with Randy Johnson a little bit, so that was a lot of fun to be around a guy that was going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Zach Pace, just year number 7 as a manager, but obviously all those years working on your staff. How do you think, as a manager, your style develops? I mean, Zach Pace loves his small ball. I mean, Stompers' rally yesterday was off a 5th inning bunt. How do you think we're going to see Zach grow, and how have you seen him grow over the past just 7 years?
Yeah, he's just a real smart kid. I think one of the things when you talk about styles, baseball teams, you have a different team every year. So some years, like when I was at Sonoma, we led the league in steals a bunch of times, and we led the league in pitching, and we led the league in home runs, but not all in the same year. So you have to ground ball to third. Nice play.
Shepler, a local kid himself, makes a nice play to retire Lopez 5-3. And Jackson Rowland today, I mean, we can talk about your playing days, but you're a coach. What have you seen?
You have to adjust your style to the people that are on the field, like being able to adjust and be flexible, and I think Zach does that well.
I mean, we can talk about the game for a little bit. Nice play from Shepler down there third. You've been sitting down there watching. What have you seen from Rowland, the starter, today?
Well, to be honest, I've been talking to so many people. He's throwing strikes. He's doing a good job. There's no runs out there, so
that's all that matters.
That's a good thing. Did you play baseball yourself?
Only until 8th grade.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had a coach like you, I'd still be going.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a nice compliment. Thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us, Coach. Top of inning number 3 of still a scoreless game.
I'll let you get back to doing your job.
Oh, of course.
But thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Okay.
Stompers and the Philippines still playing here in the top of the third, but that's all we have today from Coach John Gels. Thanks so much, Coach, for taking the time. You can enjoy the rest of this one. Hopefully a Stompers victory down there. I know there's a lot of people that want to talk to him. He's spent a nice inning and a half talking to me. And the count is now 2-2 to Jackson Rowland. Rowland's pitch home is low, 3-2. It's back to the top in Nomar Vasquez. Rowland 3 outs recorded on the ground ball and a couple of strikeouts. Been very efficient here to start the ball game. The payoff is lined through the right side. Shannon will field it as a ground ball in right, and Vasquez is 7 for 15 now on the season with that swing of a second knock going the way of the road squad, and that brings up Owen Stevenson. Now would be a nice time for one of those ground balls. One on, one out. Swing and a miss by Stevenson. 0 for 14. Those are the CCL numbers. Sporting a orange helmet. That's from Kentucky Wesleyan, where he plays his college ball. A check on first base. No pickoff today. It's going to be hard to match the 4 outs on the bases that Stompers pitchers and catchers got yesterday. The pitch, runner goes, Sepulveda's throw to second, the swipe tag is in time. And I stand corrected, maybe they'll do it again. That's 2 caught stealings in as many games for Stompers catchers. Pulowski got one yesterday, Sepulveda got one today, and Vasquez is erased CS in your scorebook. 1-1. Is grounded to the right side. Keys backhands. He's going to wave off. Rowland take it to the bag himself. And the Stomper defense continues to be just fantastic over the past 13 innings. Midway through the third, Roman Raffelli's back on the microphone with me for the last of the inning when we return on the Stompers Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third. Another thank you to John Gales, longtime Seawolf manager, who joined us for the last inning. I'm Kieran Costa, now joined by Roman Raffelli yet again. A baseball coach in his own right, maybe not the pedigree of Gales, as that one is a called strike, a changeup 1-1. But not many do have his pedigree, Roman. Don't feel bad. The pitch is high. The count's 2 balls and 1 strike to Nick Sebastiani, down in the 8th spot in the lineup today.
And with what Gales brought to the broadcast, I'm not even worthy of the comparison there. 39 years with Sonoma State, a stacked record with them.
Sebastiani pops up, Bermuda Triangle right center, but it's the second baseman, Nomar Vasquez, who makes the call and the catch in shallow right field. The Stompers, you go back to that double play, it's 5 straight. And maybe Max Handren's lucky that John Gales came on the broadcast. I should have asked him, hey, why wasn't Max looking at his send sign? The pitch to Keys, swing and a miss. Trent is 1 for 17, but an on-base percentage north of 500. That means 8 hit by pitches and a whole bunch of walks. That one's outside. Oh, that's my bad. This happened to me 3 times yesterday that I spoke too soon and was embarrassed by the home plate umpire.
That's 8 walks and 7, 8 hit by pitches and 7 walks for Keys.
Keys sends this one to right center. It's a hard hit baseball, chasing back all the way back. It's off the scoreboard, and Keys is holding at second base with a double. First extra base hit, second hit of the year for Trent Keys. The 9-hitter's out in scoring position, and that one has to feel good for Trent. He's been making adjustments. He had a long conversation with Zach Pace after batting practice yesterday. After he wasn't in the lineup, he said, I want to be early to everything. And he gets in there, he's ready to go, and drives that one, pull side, one-hopped the scoreboard high wall in deep, deep right center field, 362 feet, yields Keys a double.
And exactly what Stompers fans want to see from Trent. He's put together great at-bats. It just hasn't produced, and he finally gets one to go.
Hahn takes inside. It kicks to the screen, but it hit him in the foot first. So Trent Keys goes back to second. Gideon Hahn goes to first base, and Max Handren, looking to atone for his base running error, comes up with first and second and just one out.
And look for him to be swinging first pitch here. He took the first one he saw down the right field line, and Trent Keys, the second one he saw, took it to right center. The Stompers obviously seeing something off Perez. They want to attack early, and it would be great for Handren to make up for that mental mistake in the first.
Yeah, Handren was at second base when a single kicked through into center field, but he held at third despite the send sign from Hoke. But that's all forgiven if he can drive in a run here. He drives it the opposite way and foul over the Flybird Margarita Lounge. The count's 0-1. Max entered put a 353 average. All he's done is produce since joining Sonoma, his third stint for the Stomps. The 0-1 offer takes. Nice pitch, misses low. Counts a ball and a strike. 2 on with 1 out. Stompers looking to get the first run of the ball game. The pitch. Handren swings and misses.
And Perez obviously seeing something in Max's swing, maybe the Stompers swing, but he's pitching on the outside third. They've got to learn to take the ball to left field here if you're the lefty, and Handren is. Live that way, let the ball travel, and hit it where it's pitched.
The 1-2 coming. Handren looking to drive in a run for Sonoma. Keys off second, Hahn off first, and that one's well off the corner. Tried to go outside again, but missed badly with the curveball. Handren doubled in the first, left at third, erased when Shannon hit into a 6-4-3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 1 out. The Stompers looking to strike first here in the third, and Handren takes low inside, and Trent Keys just took third base off the catcher. That's heads up base running by Trent Keys. Hahn did not follow behind, and maybe that's already a question for Zach. That's 2 base running mistakes.
Well, not even necessarily a mistake on Hahn. Keys just saw that Tigam behind the dish wasn't looking up, so he decided to run off of his secondary, a bit of a delayed steal and just a really heads-up ball play.
Yeah, it looks like it bouncing out of the glove of Tagiam. The 3-2, Handren fouls it back. Hahn running now as it's a payoff with runners on the corners. Thank you for joining us Thursday evening. Beg your pardon, down here in Sonoma. I'm Karen Costa, joined by Roman Raffelli. First of a 3-game homestand. Stompers would love this one and get well above 500. Handren lines that one back up the middle. It's a base hit and an RBI for Handren, and Sonoma takes a 1-0 lead.
And that's where that 90 feet just grabbed by Trent Keys is huge, because Trent's a good athlete, but I don't think he's a second-to-home base runner on how hard that ball was hit right in front of Primanto in center field. So that heads-up base running play pays off almost immediately, and Handren does what we alluded to. He atones for that mental mistake in the first, gets an RBI, and puts the Stompers on the board.
Handren struck out in the first inning of yesterday's game in slow. He's reached in 5 of his 6 plate appearances since. He singled, walked, and was hit by a pitch yesterday. He's doubled and singled today. Akers takes low. A curveball went all the way through the zone but ended below it.
And we've talked about the contributions of Handren. He's just a really tough out, and that's what you want in the CCL, where anything goes. There's some sloppy baseball. You need a guy who can just put barrel on the ball.
A veteran at bat for sure. That one's low, 2-0. Stompers set up for a big inning. They scored in just 2 innings yesterday, and 3 of the first 9 on Tuesday. Heartbreaking loss yesterday in slow. They get it back, looking to build on that. Akers hits it into left. Hahn had to hold, and the bases are loaded for Sonoma. That one was probably 15 or 20 miles per hour off the bat, slower than Max Handren's, but it's a line drive in the scorebook, and the bases are loaded with 1 out, and a meeting at the mound. It's Jackson Briscoe, I think. The managers Will Pickett's, and Nick Alonzo also helps out for the Philippines. Bases loaded for Sonoma, and this bases loaded moment is brought to you by Friedman's. Friedman's is loaded with all your home improvement needs. Friedman's, if they don't have it, you don't need it. Brady Shannon looking to atone himself, bounced into a 6-4-3 back in the first inning. The Stompers have a chance to really extend what's just a 1-0 cushion.
And what the Stompers don't need that Freeman's doesn't have is a hard-hit baseball or an extra base hit here in this little bases-loaded situation. Hahn hit by a pitch and then a pair of singles. Akers off the handle, just over the third baseman's head. A really great small ball that Zach Payson, I'm sure our special guest coach would also just love to see here.
They all count the same, and Brady Shannon, 237. He has 6 RBIs on the season and another 3 out on the bases. Ducks on the pond for the Stompers with 1 out in the bottom of inning number 3. The righty, Perez out of the stretch, kicks and deals. Shannon hits a cue shot to the shortstop, who makes the catch. That's a broken bat pitch in on the hands, and Brady just flared it to the shortstop. There was a second where we thought it was going to drop, but it finds the glove of the shortstop. That's J.J. Fagfumsent, and there's now 2 away, and that's a couple tough at-bats for Shannon, who's come up with a runner. So on the corners, he bounced into a double play, and the bases loaded. He lined out to the shortstop, not a hard hit ball at all. Here, this brings up Connor Pulowski, who takes inside corner, called strike 1. Slider, front hip slider right on right from Perez. Pulowski, second on the team in runs batted in. He has 8. Hitting room on the right side, the first baseman Story behind the runner, Akers at first. A 1-0 inside almost hit him. That would have forced in a run, but it's instead a ball that counts. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Perez continuing to live on the arm side third. That jammed Brady Shannon, got him a big out. It's also what Hahn had to battle off in his looking strikeout in the first.
Yeah, he seems to just be inside to righties, away to lefties, working that same corner every time. That one's low, but it doesn't kick far enough away from tagging him for a Stomper special. So Pulowski will do it from ahead 2-1.
And a great block there from Tagium, but living on that edge that we just mentioned, that's a great spot to live. It's tough for the righties, even tougher for the lefties who want to pull the ball. If you have the command, it's a great approach to the game.
Bases full of Stompers with 2 outs in the third. The pitch to Pulaski fouled back to the screen, 2-2. Stayed on that inner third. Pulaski extended the zone a little bit and fouled it off his hand straight back to the screen. Timed him up, though.
A great pitch and a good effort putting a swing on it. Pulaski doesn't want to get rung up inside there.
2 balls and 2 strikes. The Stompers have 1 home in the inning, and the base is full. The 2-2, Pulowski swings and misses, stays on the inner third, and gets Pulowski. From bases loaded and 1 out, the Stompers only get 1. So that's 1 run on 3 hits and 3 left. Roman Raffelli takes over on play-by-play in the top of the 4th inning with the Stompers on top of the Philippines by the score of 1-0.
The top of the 4th here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. The Stompers got 1 in the bottom of the 3rd, but the base is loaded. It's Dylan Tagium up to lead it off, followed by Jonathan Torrente and the shortstop JJ Fagimsu up 3rd. Tagium struck out in the 1st. He ended the inning. Roland looking for his 4th. That one chopped softly to Shepler. Fields throws in time. The 5-3 to Keys retires the 1st. Roland has been good through his first 3. No runs on the board. A pair of singles, but one caught stealing the throw from Sepulveda behind the dish, and the other left on second base in the 2nd. Torrente up now, grounded out to Max Handren. First pitch he sees misses outside. Roland working off the first base side of the rubber. The 1-0 outside even further, now 2-0. That one in for a strike. Now 2-1. Roland been good at pitching ahead in the count, and even when he hasn't, he's responded well. No 3-0s yet. The 2-1 misses out. It's 3-1. And a 3-1 hit hard up the middle, past the glove of Hitting Hahn. It's a 1-out single from Jonathan Torrente.
No action in the bullpen yet. Zach Pace has Polis, Marquez, and Albie available. You wonder how he wants to get what's now 17 outs.
JJ Fagfumsint up. He singled in the 2nd inning and just bloop shot over first base.
Yeah, he's gotten how many now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ground balls.
He'd love one here. Bunt shown, put down, foul down the third base line.
You'll take it if you're Jackson Rowland. That's one free strike.
The Stompers, 5 early hits leads them to 1 run through 3. It's 3 for the Philippines, but no runs. The 0-1 fouled back 0-2.
You're going to give me a strike with the bunt. Now you're going to foul one off. Rowland, this is your shot. You're way out ahead.
Rowland firmly in control of the count. It's right on right. The 0-2 hit high into shallow right field. Shannon comes on and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Brings up Stefan Leo, tonight's beer batter in the ballpark, hitting .231 entering today's game.
Right fielder, number 20, Stefan Leo.
The 0-1 pick back to first. Rowland's been great working ahead in the count, looking for strike one every first pitch. This one hit high but foul towards first base. Now another 0-2. Leo from the right, Rowland from the right. The 0-2 fouled on a line down right field. We'll do 0-2 again.
Yeah, wait on everything. This at bat, everything's sent the opposite way down the first base line. You go back to that fastball, try and get it by him, or go to the slider and make him chase.
He hasn't seen one yet this count. The 0-2 in the dirt. Nice block from Sepulveda behind the dish. The 1-2 hit towards third. Shepler Fields tosses to second in time for the third out of the inning. It goes 5-4. Shepler to Handren, and Jackson Rowland is rolling through 4. We'll head to the bottom half here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Bottom of the fourth, the triple S due up for the double S. That's the Sonoma Stompers and Shepler, Sepulveda, Sebastiani. All retired their first time through the lineup. First pitch to Shepler from the left, outside corner, called strike number 1. And Perez picking back up where he left off, living on the outside corner to the lefty. Perez gets the sign, winds, deals, swing and a miss. Shepler went at that pitch, the same one he just saw, but unable to get to it in time.
Yeah, this Philippines ball club's been outscored by 45 runs in their last 4 combined games.
The Stompers hold just a 1-0 lead through 3.5. The 0-2 to Shepler, swung on and missed, strike 3.
Yeah, tough at bat for Shep.
And that's what we see a lot when the umpire zone kind of tilts one way or another, in the sense of where he's giving space, not where he's, team favoring or anything. You see that outside pitch. It's off the edge a little bit tonight, I won't lie to you there, but then hitters have to go change their approach, defend that pitch, and some get upset at that situation where you have to change the game almost, but you got to be able to hit that one outside. Sepulveda takes high, ball 1. Sepulveda entered today's game batting 172. Had a big game a week ago as he takes strike number 1. He had 3 extra base hits in that game, 2 doubles, and a 3-run home run that lifted the Stomps to a Friday night win. 1-2 catches the outside corner, strike number 2. Not a spot we've seen him go to much so far tonight.
Yeah, nice curveball, just sort of sat there on the outer third.
It's 1-2 to Sepulveda. And the pitch hit off the handle of the bat. Charging play in time from Fagfum Sintu. Now Nick Sebastiani with 2 outs.
Now batting out of Santa Rosa Junior College, left fielder number 6, Nick Sebastiani.
Sebastiani from the right. He popped out to lead off the third. First pitch misses inside and low. Perez takes his time, finds his sign, delivers, strike inside corner.
Been a problem for the Stompers. They leave runners on early, and then the bats go quiet in the middle innings.
1-1 inside corner with an off-speed pitch. It started at Sebastiani and then cut inside. A great mix here from Perez. He's got a 2-seam fastball which runs in on the hands to the righties, and then he goes front door with that off-speed stuff. Really tough and really easy to get jammed. Now ahead 1-2. The pitch fouled back. Good battle there from Sebastiani and Kieran. You just said it. The bats get going early. Feels like they have an opportunity. The door gets slammed on them, and then the confidence just can't quite rebound throughout the duration of the game. The 1-2 hits Sebastiani on the head. It was an off-speed pitch that just didn't break. It'll be a 2-out hit by pitch, the second of the ball game.
Yeah, Nick aboard there, but he doesn't have a hit since his home run against Menlo Park. That was all the way back last Friday.
We're going to check out Sebastiani here. It was not a high velo pitch, but always got to be sure, especially getting hit upper body. It's 2 outs and 1 on for Trent Keys, who might just be coming around the corner for the Stomps. He entered at just an 0.59 batting average and had a hard hit double to right center last inning. He scored the lone run of the ball game. Press from the stretch. First pitch steal from Sebastiani. They pitch him out, and not in time. A great jump and a great steal to move into scoring position.
Yeah, 6th swipe for Nick Sebastiani this year. Up there on the team, he's chasing Akers and Boardman, I think have 7 apiece.
Runner in scoring position for Trent Keys. Now 2 hits on his CCL campaign. Pitch, breaking ball in the zone for strike number 1. Keys been a baseball magnet at first base and in the batter's box, been hit 8 times entering today's ball game. He's chasing down Anthony Shepler in that category. The 1-1, same pitch, he put a barrel on it but rolls it over to second base in time for the out. A hit by pitch in the inning, no hits for the Stomps. They go down 4C the plates. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Jackson Rowland, you'll never guess it, rolling through 4 out for the 5th in what's been a bit of a controversial topic amongst our broadcast team. We saw game 1 against the Slow Blues. Kyle Sayo left in a little bit late. That was downfall. Devin Laginto put 2 on in his 7th inning of work. The Stompers worked out of it there, but feels like there's a line that's being towed, or been towed a few times through the season so far, where pitchers just given too much work. First pitch to Hudson Story, swung on and missed. Second one outside and in the dirt. Rowland's 54th pitch, that was 55th incoming. He's been very effective through 4. The 1-1 misses outside.
Yeah, if you're Rowland, you want to retire the bottom third. Don't let it get back to the top. That's really Zach Pace will start thinking about it when guys start getting a third look at his starter.
This one fouled back, now 2-2. And the 2-2 hit into shallow left field. Sebastiani took a couple steps back, but comes on to make the catch. Now 1 away in the 5th. Brings up Tyler Pimento.
Center fielder number 22, Tyler Pimento.
Tyler struck out in the 2nd. He entered today just 0-83. Shows bunt, offers it, but can't put it down.
I think he just fully missed that one, and then it kicked off Sepulveda.
I believe it was the hook from Rowland, and he had the barrel ready for it, and it just ducked right under.
Nice piece of pitching against a bunt.
Roland winds, no bunt shown. He chops it right back to Roland, fields it on a hop, and tosses over to Trent Keys at first. Now 2 gone in the inning. Brings up Malachi Lopez, entered today, hitting .333 limited appearances, but he also has an RBI. Roland winds, delivers first pitch, cut on and foul tipped back into Sepulveda. They'll give him a moment.
60 pitches now through, what's 4 2/3 innings. Things get interesting. Let's say you get out of here, right? You better get out of here under 70, but you're out of here at 62, 63. You come out for the 6th inning there. No one other than Devin Laginto yesterday's come out for a 6th.
Roland looking to take a page out of Devin's book. And man, what a day he had. 0-1 misses outside and low. Laginto, one of the loudest personalities on this ball club. He let the performance back up that loudness. He had a great one against the Blues. This one hit right under the glove of Roland. Field and throw in time from Handren. A slow roller, a quick throw across, puts him down in order. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The Stompers looking to extend their lead here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Back to the top, it's Gideon Hahn leading it off. A strikeout and a hit by pitch in today's ball game. Man, one of the best, in my opinion, best walk-up songs on this Stompers lineup. Some good old Coldplay to lead it off. I do know you're a big Southern Knights fan, Kieran. You might be disagreeing with me there, but no McCann Libby. This one hit hard into the left center gap. It's a leadoff single for Gideon Hahn.
Yeah, that's nice for Gideon. Doubles up his hit total. Now 2 for 14, beg your pardon. Not the dream start to league play, but his approach is always there. Long at bat and ended in a strikeout. First trip, hit by pitch, last trip, singles here. Sets up Handren and Akers, who are a combined 4 for 4 today. And I'm going to go with a different lefty in the lineup for my favorite walk-up song, Revival, Anthony Shepler.
A good one there as well. Even Handren came out here with some Kanye. Checks back to first. Handren 2 for 2 on the ball game, halfway to a cycle, a single and a double. First pitch inside and low.
And I was thinking, you get one towards the light pole in right center, you're running. And Max's home run power, we know that. 9 home runs in the inaugural ACC season for the Golden Bears.
1-0 outside and low. Handren has seen a few on that outside corner, knows that's where Perez wants to live. The single from Gideon Hahn towards that corner. He took it to left center. That's the approach the Stompers have to live with while Perez is on the bump.
Yeah, he pulled his double right down the line, and then his single was a perfectly placed line drive straight back through the middle.
A check back dropped by Hudson Story, but Hahn back there in time.
But Handren goes the other way a lot. It felt like even when he gets out, it's to the left side.
A true five-tool guy. I'll check back to Hahn. Not in time again.
The only tool we haven't seen yet is base running. Max yet to swipe a bag.
The 2-0 hit high and deep to center. Going back is Premento. He backpedals and makes the grab. That ball hit a long ways, 360 feet, but recorded for an out. Brings up Landon Akers, also 2 for 2 on the ball game, like Kieran mentioned, but just a pair of singles for the Stompers center fielder. First pitch to Akers, inside corner, not called a strike. Missed about a ball inside. Now 1-0 to Akers. Gideon Hahn standing on first with 1 out. He fakes a steal. Pitch misses low on the inside edge. Now 2-0 for Akers.
Got Perez now his third look at Akers. He's nibbling all around the zone, close pitches, but he knows what happens if he puts one in the zone.
They check back to Hahn. I believe that's the 5th time. Hahn just 1 stolen base in conference play. 2 stolen bases in CCL action. But they are well aware of the speed. This one hit high and deep to left. Going back is Tarante, and it's out of here. A 2-run shot for Landon Akers puts the Stomps up 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th.
Akers is really coming around at the plate here. 373 feet to left center field. Second home run. That's RBIs 8 and 9.
And that one just so pure off the barrel. You could hear it as soon as he hit it. A big swing for Landon Akers.
He knew it too.
Brings up Brady Shannon, grounded into a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first and flew out. Well, just a kind of loft out to short his last time up. Gets out of the way of an inside fastball there. Shannon, 2 double plays grounded into on the season. The 1-0 misses outside, and Akers hits the home run there. We've seen this inning, the Stompers much more aware of that inside corner for the righties and outside corner for the lefties. Much more aware of where Perez is trying to live, and they've been good against it here in the 5th. That one hit hard down the third base line. Inside corner there, but Shannon was ready for it. Just very foul. Count 2-1 to the Youngstown State Penguin, who's turned it up as of late for the Stomps. The 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1.
Yeah, big swing. Landon Akers. That one's got to feel good. He really wasn't pleased with his performance in the early going this summer. 3 hits today. And maybe still not even 100% after that foul ball off the foot Tuesday evening.
The 3-1 rolled over to the shortstop. That's Fagfomento, and in time to get Shannon for the second out of the inning. Brings up Connor Pulowski, who also had a bit of a slow start, but then has really turned it up as of late. Enters today hitting .318. He struggled a bit at slow. He's 0 for 2 today, but DHing. First pitch in for a strike. Thanks for joining us here in the bottom of the fifth. Roman Raffelli, Kieran Costa here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. The 0-1 to Pulowski misses inside. The Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network now home to all games, home and away. You get the video while we're at Arnold and just audio when we're on the road. That one misses outside and low. A great take from Pulowski.
Yeah, Connor entered play, .318 average, one of the higher on the team, especially with his number of at-bats, and a on-base creeping towards 500, but an 0 for 2 days not going to help.
2-1 misses outside, now 3-1. Pulowski disciplined at the plate, a patient approach, and, I mean, he should know the zone well. He catches about half the days for the Stomps. The 3-1. Ball 4, it's 5 pitches to Pulowski, and he's on base with 2 outs.
Here we go. This is my favorite walk-up.
A good one for Anthony Shepler. Looking to revive the inning here. 2 outs, but 1 on. Seen some power from Shepler. That one misses low. Stomps couldn't quite get a hold of Perez's approach up until this inning. A pair of hits, 2 runs scored, a walk as well, and just much more patient knowing he's living on the outside, or the arm side, third. Pulowski gets a late lead, and they pick him off at first. A good move from Perez ends the inning. We'll head to the top of the 6th here on the Stompers Broadcast Network. Top of the 6th here at Arnold, it's Jackson Rowland delivering a first pitch strike. Out for his 6th inning of work, Kieran.
Yeah, second guy in as many days to get to try and pitch the 6th.
This one chopped to Shepler at third. He charges Fields in time. Keys puts the tag down. It's 5-3 to start it.
Yeah, Trent Keys loves doing that. Loves saving his guys' errors. That's a high throw from Shepler. It just sailed on him. I think he had a second to make that throw, but Trent Keys came up, came down, and applied the tag.
Brings up Owen Stevenson. Entered today 0 for 13. He's now 0 for 15. Been put down twice by Roland. First pitch nearly hits him inside corner. It looked like it foul tipped off the knob, but not sure what the ruling is.
I think it's a ball. And I think that one got a piece of Frieders' hand, and Sepulveda does the right thing. He's going to go talk to his pitcher and give Gary a minute.
And I saw Frieders kind of take a little trot out. I didn't know if he was going to pull the umpires together to ask if that hit the knob or the bat or not, but that explains why just shaking out the arm. Gives Sepulveda a pat on the back. Appreciates the moments to recover, and now Roland back to the delivery. Nice fast breaking ball in the zone, 1-1.
Yeah, Roland has reinforcements ready in the bullpen, but I don't even know if it's one batter notice at this point. I think you let him ride. 66 pitches.
No real issues for him as we've gone through. He's given up 3 hits, but he's left 3 on base. That one nearly cut on. Called a strike. Now
Only
2-2.
Only one has gotten into scoring position. That was on a 2-out walk in the second. He erased one on a caught stealing. He's done a very nice job.
That one swung on and missed. Dropped by Sepulveda. And he drops it, but quickly makes the throw in time. That almost went poorly for Esteban, but they get the strikeout and the 1-2-3 put out.
That's just his third. And his first since he got a strikeout to end the first, a strikeout to end the second. And since then, it's been just a lot of ground balls.
Pitch into contact and letting the defense work. This one hit right back up the middle. Hahn Fields on the run, throws in time. Roland has cruised through 6 innings of work. He gets a fist bump from Trent Keys. We'll head to the bottom half here at Arnold Field. back, bottom of the 6th. It's the same 3 up. The Stompers sent 9 to the plate in the 5th. They scored, dating back to the 4th, 9 have hits. It was Shepler leading off the 4th inning, and a new pitcher on the bump. I believe the shortstop, Fumsint, has moved to the mound. Not sure who is currently playing short for the Philippines. First pitch misses outside.
Now pitching, number 1, JJ Bakfootson.
The 1-0 misses low to Shepler, 2-0. Shepler stands in 2-0. Misses outside, 3-0 to Shepler to start the inning.
This would be Fumsint's first appearance in CCL play.
The 3-0 taken for a strike in typical Stomper fashion. Now 3-1 to Shepler. Same spot, same call. It's 3-2. We can close the line on Andres Perez. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. He walked 1, hit 2, and struck out 3. The payoff pitch hit on a line foul down the right field line. Payoff pitch again, hit fouled on the left field line, this time by Shepler. And a good at-bat here from Anthony.
Yeah, now this becomes a scoring nightmare. With the shortstop moves to pitcher, you lose your DH, right? And the new shortstop hits in the DH role. Unless you move him back to shortstop, like the Rays used to do.
3-2, swung on in, missed. It's Shepler's second strikeout of the ballgame.
That was the Rays' whole thing, was like one batter, you play the lefty-righty lane. Then the 3-batter minimum came in, and the Rays would bring in a pitcher, move him to left field for 1 batter, and then move him back to the mound.
And to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure if that's who is on the bump. They've got 2 number 1s in the pitching, on the pitching mound right now, and in at shortstop. They look eerily similar as well, so I really just couldn't tell you, but we're going to play it with JJ on the bump. First pitch to Sepulveda, swing and a miss. The 0-1 fouled straight back at us. Now 0-2 to Sepulveda. The sun slowly setting in Sonoma, about half the field sprinkled with shade. Pleasant 69 degrees here at 7:45. The 0-2 spiked short of the plate, now 1-2.
Correction, now batting for the Philippine pitching. Now pitching for the Philippines baseball group, number 1, Dylan Adams.
And I believe it's Dylan Adams now on the mound. Not JJ Fumsint. So Dylan Adams, the 1-2 chopped foul down the third base line. So Adams came in to start the inning. He got Shepler on a strikeout and is now ahead 1-2 to Sepulveda. The pitch misses high, 2-2.
I mean, West, everybody has the number 1 at this point. My goodness.
I mean, you gotta feel like the numbers are there for a reason, but what do we know? We're just a couple of analysts. The 2-2. Low called strike 3. Sepulveda, the catcher for the Stompers, has some choice words for Gary Frieders. He'll walk back 2 outs.
That's a tough call.
Now batting, left fielder, number 6, Nick Sebastiani.
A tough call indeed. Dylan Adams strikes out the first 2 he sees. A 5'10", 170-pound sophomore at Los Angeles Pierce College. Now retires the first 2 he sees. This one hit hard down the right field line, but foul from Nick Sebastiani.
There's been action in that bullpen, but is it Jackson rolling 7th? When Devin Laginto went out for the 7th, it was single, and then the hook from Zach Pace. I wonder if he lets a pitcher work deep into a game or maybe an extra inning for now. The 3rd straight night.
The 0-1 in for a strike at a bit low of the zone, but called similar to Sepulveda's. Adams, just his 3rd appearance for the Philippines. He comes in with a 40.5 ERA, so just an inning and a 3rd, 7 walks, a hit, no strikeouts, but he has 2 in the inning. The 0-2 to Sebastiani, swings and a miss. He strikes out the side in relief of Perez. We will head to the top of the 7th here on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Kieran Costa takes you through the final 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Jonathan Torrente leads off the top of inning number 7. Sonoma leads it 3-0. And new arm is Micah Marquez, who starts him out with a called strike 1. 2 league appearances for Marquez, and he's combined 4 shutout innings, 2 strikeouts, no walks, 3 hits. Looking to continue to fill up the zone here, and he misses outside off the corner to Torrente. The count's 1 ball and 1 strike. Moving quickly here in Sonoma. 3-0 Stomps. We play into the 7th. Pitch. Called strike, bottom of his zone. It's been there all night, and the count's 1-2. Stompers 3. Philippines baseball group nothing. They were held quiet by the starter Jackson Rowland, trying to change that against the new arm Marquez. This one's a chop towards Handren, who gloves and throws easy for Max. The putout goes 4-3. There's 1 down, and that's now 9 consecutive retired by Sonoma pitching. Rowland in 6 innings, 3 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. That brings up J.J. Fagfumsint, Pierce College. The pitch from Marquez is to the screen with Fagfumsint squaring to bunt. He's now 5 for 19 on the season. The 1-0 coming. Inside corner called strike. Marquez working righty on righty with Fagfumsint. Micah played his college ball at William Jessup this past season. He's ready to deal a 1-1. Swing and a miss, chased a pitch away. It's a nice one, and the count's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Marquez looking to pick up right where he left off on Sunday, where he pitched 2 innings in Game 2 of the doubleheader against Menlo Park. Earned the victory. 1-2. Inside, and the count's 2-2. Nice pitch.
A really nice one there. We've seen that called pretty frequently. Doesn't get Frieders to go there. A little bit off the inside corner.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Marquez has yet to allow a free pass in now 4 1/3 innings this year. His 2-2. In there for a called strike 3, and Fagfumsint knew it. 4th strikeout for Stomper pitching, first for Micah Marquez. That's disgusting. Buckled his knees on a hook.
Exactly the same pitch we just saw and we're talking about, but he got this one to creep over that inside edge a little bit more. Really tough to hit. The best you can do as a batter is to tip it off, and he just wasn't ready.
Stefan Leo out of Holy Family University swings and misses, 0-1. Marquez really nice here through the first 2 hitters. Leo flew out and bounced out. That was against the starter Rowland. Marquez, the first man out of the bullpen for Zach Pace. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Stompers got a run in the 3rd, courtesy of a Max Handren RBI single. Landon Akers unloaded a 2-run shot to left. That was in the 5th. We stand 3-0 in the 7th. 1-1 offer. Fouled off Sepulveda, 1-2. Marquez touches 82 and keeps it down in the zone. That's a real tough pitch to hit if you're Leo.
And Marquez taking a page from how Rowland started this ballgame, working quickly, working effective, and just throwing strikes, forcing the batter to swing the bat.
Marquez sets and delivers a 1-2 outside, skipped in the opposite batter's box. That's the lefty batter's box with the righty Leo at the plate, and the count's even 2-2. The bottom 4 in the lineup are 0-for-7 with a walk. Jackson Rowland did a great job. The pitch is bounced to 3rd. Shepler can't get it on the short hop. It's in to left field, and it's the first hit for Stefan Leo today. Oh, or an error. That one probably goes E5. I think that one goes E5. I might have spoken too soon. That's a play Anthony Shepler probably should make.
And tough to tell, a rocket at his feet. He tried the short hop, but he just came up a little bit early. pretty tough to tell.
So Leo aboard on the air. Marquez still looking to get through this inning, and he'll have to do it from behind. 1-0 to Hudson Story. Walked in the second inning. Flew out to lead off the fifth. Hits with 2 outs in the seventh.
And I believe he's seen 1-0 every at-bat.
This 1-0's fouled off by the lefty, and the count's 1-1. First of 3 at home here on the broadcast network tomorrow and Saturday. Both of those 6:05 starts. Arroyo Seco comes up from down in SoCal, and then the Legends again. Menlo Park just walked off San Francisco. That was a 5-4 final at the College of San Mateo. 1-1. Curveball outside corner called strike. In other action around the CCL North, Alameda went into Walnut Creek and blanked him 3-0. The Slow Blues lead the Arroyo Seco Saints 3-0. That game going on down at Sinsheimer. That one misses high, and the count's 2-2. So that means Arroyo Seco's in the exact same situation that Sonoma was. You assume their bus will get into Sonoma County around 2:30 a.m. It's going to be a quick turn for the Saints. The Stompers doing well on that quick turn today, as that one's fouled down the third baseline. This is something different. The Stompers on Tuesday had the bus ride in the morning. They lost to the Blues coming off the bus. Then we go all the way back to last year's playoffs. The Stompers won the wild card game in Slow. The bus came back at 1 a.m. and they lost the CCL North title game in Walnut Creek. Marquez delivers a curveball, a mile-high pop to left. Nick Sebastiani comes in and makes the catch, and Sonoma well on their way to winning this one. Time to stretch. The Stompers lead the Philippines Baseball Group 3-0 on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Hunter Boylan comes out of the bullpen for the Philippines. He relieves Dylan Adams, who struck out the side in order in the 6th inning. Boylan, a lefty from Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, 6'3", and 240-pound senior from Chico State, making his 4th appearance out of the bullpen. He's yet to allow a run in 5 innings. The Submariner delivers outside, and he'll start left on left against Trent Keys, who picked up just his 2nd league hit. That was a double into the right center field gap. Came around to score on a Max Handren single. That was in the 2nd inning. He grounded out in the third.
And Boylan likely in to face a bit of a lefty lane here. We have Keys, Hahn, and Handren due up, all three lefties. And coming from that submarine slot, tough to hit.
That one misses high. So 2 balls and no strikes to Trent Keys, looking to add to what's a 3-0 Sonoma cushion. Trent takes outside 3-0, and a man known for getting on base is in the driver's seat, 3-0. 8 walks, 7 hit by pitches for Trent. That's 15 times he's reached without hitting the baseball, and he takes a called strike 3-1, and he's reached twice by hitting the baseball. That was a single, I think, in the second league game, and now a double in today's third inning. Lefty on lefty. Boylan to Keys. It hit him, and that's the 8th time Trent's been hit. Anthony Shepler, you've got some competition.
And I would make a comment about it, but at this point, I don't know why I'm surprised. It just, there's something about Trent Keys that a ball out of the pitcher's hand can't say no to.
That's just the second time the Stompers have gotten the leadoff man aboard. Hahn singled to lead off the 5th. He now digs in against Boylan. The second straight lefty. Hahn squares, pulls it back, low outside, 1-0. And I asked Zach Pace in the pregame interview today about his bats going quiet in the middle innings, and he said, I don't like how we haven't scored and we go on offensive droughts. Maybe if we get a runner, we'll try and lay one down, play our small ball, and that's what Hahn tried to do on the first pitch and the second pitch. He's ahead in the count 2-0. Didn't have to offer the bunt either time.
And there's no better way to punk a guy on the other side trying to come at you with a lefty through your lefty lane than to get a guy on from a free base and then bunt up in the box. It takes away any action on a breaking ball.
2-0. Hahn squares again, pulls back again. It's low, 3-0. And now you have to wonder if the bunt sign is on. It's probably a take sign on 3-0, and then we'll do it again when we get to 3-1. Zach Pace talking to Max Handren in the on-deck circle. Let's see what Zach picked up. Hahn squares the bunt, pulls it back. It's a 4-pitch walk. Stompers looking to open up a lead, something that the Philippines are used to losing big games, or losing games by a lot. They have 3 games that they lost by double digits, and Will Pickett is out on the mound to talk to his lefty. There's a righty up and losing in the bullpen. Hunter Boylan's day could be very abbreviated.
And I think the conversation between Handren and Pace was, don't extend the zone for this guy. We've seen 1 strike in what I believe is 8 pitches, maybe 9 pitches. But either way, it's a free base and then a free base. Don't make him throw a strike here. And probably the same conversation for the Philippines. Hey, we got to throw strikes. Relock into the zone. You've got the left on left here, and your defense has a bunch of opportunities to roll a pair.
Yeah, 9 pitches Boylan's thrown. He was behind 3-0 to Trent Keys. Tossed to Get Me over in there, hit him on a 3-1, and then walked Hahn on 4 consecutive pitches. So it's 8 of 9 out of the zone and the last 5. Max Handren's probably the only guy on this team that says, I don't care. If you get one down the middle, you're swinging. We'll see what he does on the first offer from Boylan. He takes outside. Ball 6 consecutively. Max ahead in the count 1-0. The first baseman Story in on the grass, as is the third baseman Lopez. I don't think Max is bunting. He takes outside 2-0. I don't know if Max is swinging the way that Boylan's command has been so erratic. That's what, now 10 of 11 that have missed.
And I stopped playing my ball in high school for a reason, but standing in on the grass against Max Handren feels like a death wish.
Yeah, Handren's doubled and singled. He's also barreled one up to center field that ended in an out. It's probably the hardest hit out of the three. Max takes. That one's in there. Front hip slider left on left, and it came back to find the corner. That's a nice pitch.
A great pitch. Handren didn't seem to agree with the call, or maybe he was just asking if that's the edge of the inside corner, but a big one for Boylan there.
Yeah, I bet a lot of guys go slider after missing with 6 straight out of the zone. What's the fastball count? Well, it's that, as Handren swings and misses. The count's 2-2.
And a massive swing from Max Handren there. He wanted that one, I mean, in the next county over. But to Boylan's credit, he's bounced back here now 2-2.
2 balls and 2 strikes in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stompers have runners at first and second. Still nobody out, looking to add to a 3-0 lead. And Story, that's like a daylight play at first base with him playing behind the runner.
That just feels like a throw into right field.
2-2 coming to Handren. Trent Keys heads towards third, and Handren in on the hands, had to protect and sent it down the left field line. That was scarily close. It went over the Firebird Margarita Lounge and almost hit our general manager, Chase Anderson, hanging out down there. Skipped right past him. That's how you lose playing time. You hit the GM with a line drive. 2-2. Handren takes outside. Filler up 3-2. One more wide one would load him up with nobody out. And Landon Akers in the on-deck circle crushed one. A 2-run home run his last trip.
And I would typically say this is a count where you want your best fastball in your best spot, but like we've talked about all season long, there's no such thing as a fastball count. Wonder if Boylan goes back to the slider.
The payoff to Max is inside and low, ball 4. So hit by pitch, walk, walk. In Sonoma fashion, the bases are loaded without the aid of a hit. And we'll see if that brings Will Pickett's out of the bullpen. It won't. Now you get your first look at a right-handed hitter.
And this is the opposite of what you wanted when you bring in the lefty. 4-3 straight of such. Now you have the righty bases juiced and a guy who, oh, by the way, is 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a deep shot to left.
Yeah, you bring him in for the lefty lane, and it doesn't pay off. The first one to Akers is outside, and the middle infield is in with the bases loaded. I can't say I've seen that ever, right? Because there's a forced play at home plate. You bring him in to try and turn, I guess, a double play at first base? Landon Akers might get a gift with the drawn-in infield if he can hit a ball hard somewhere. Or might have to swing at all to get an RBI. It's 2-0 to Landon.
When you typically leave the middle at double play depth with the bases loaded here, you bring the corners in. Maybe they can turn 2 or get the out at home. But down 3 with just 3 hits on the board, I don't feel like this is a spot where, especially the middle infield, but even the corners should be pulled in.
2-0. Outside 3-0. And one more wide one forces in a run for Sonoma. But even if you get a ground ball to a shortstop at medium depth, there's a forced play at the plate. Your catcher sets up like a first baseman and you make that throw. No matter, though, because the bases are loaded, there's nobody out, and it's 3-0 to Landon Akers. The pitch. Outside ball 4. 3 consecutive walks after a hit by pitch force in a run. Keys crosses the plate. He scored 2 runs today. Hahn goes from second to third. Handren goes from first to second. Akers goes from home to first. He didn't see a strike in that at bat. And someone's heading down to the bullpen probably to see if somebody's ready.
Well, and I said you didn't want to face Akers. You really don't want to face Brady Shannon.
The pitch to Shannon's outside. So in 21 pitches 17 of them have missed the strike zone. That's not a good number for anyone who isn't aware. 1-0. Infield stays in, way outside 2-0. And this would be a nice inning to get like 6 and just watch this one be 9-0 in the late innings. The Stompers have played nothing but close games, it feels like. 2 one-run affairs down in slow. 2-0. Outside 3-0. Pregame made a nice play to keep that in front.
And Boylan entering today's game had 5 strikeouts, not 1 walk through his first 3 appearances, but quite the opposite here in Sonoma.
Shannon awaits a 3-0 outside ball 4. So that's now 9 pitches in a row that have missed. 4 to Akers, 4 to Shannon, and the last one to Handren. So a hit by pitch and 4 consecutive walks have forced in 2 for the Stompers. The bases are still loaded with nobody out, and Will Pickett is out for his second mound visit of the inning, and he takes the ball from Hunter Boylan. This is one that the lefty will want to forget. Break in the action, pitching change. 2 in, 3 on, and still nobody out. The Stompers look to blow this one open against a new arm when we come back on the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Ronan Nuki comes out of the bullpen, and he's in a mess. The bases are loaded with nobody out. Those all belong to Hunter Boylan. I mean, the line's not even begun to be closed on him. Nuki played his last year of baseball at Fullerton College. He's making his 3rd appearance. He's given up 3 earned runs over 3 2/3. 4 walks, or beg your pardon, 4 strikeouts and 3 walks. But a walk here forces in a run. He's looking to just limit the damage any way he can. He faces Connor Pulowski. The pitch is a first pitch curveball that stays high, and now that's 10 consecutive pitches that have missed by Philippines pitching.
It feels like forever since we've even seen almost a swing from the Stompers.
At no point has a pitcher been ahead in the count this inning. The 1-0 is on the way to Pulaski. Bases loaded, nobody out. Connor sends this one into left center field. Torrente chasing back, but it's the center fielder, Primanto, who makes the catch. Everybody's tagging. The throw's knocked down. It's a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Pulowski. A nice piece of hitting. That's RBI number 9 on the season for Connor.
And he hit it just deep enough to let everybody move up. Hendren comes in to score, and then you get not just the second to third run. That was Akers, who's pretty quick on the bags, but Brady Shannon taking advantage of what might have been a throw to third, moves from first to second.
So now Nuki goes right on right against Shepler in what's now a 6-0 ball game, thanks to a 3 spot here in the 7th. The pitch, Shepler swings and misses late on 78. Pitch had a little bit of bite. The 0-1 on the way to Anthony Shepler. Second and third, the infield now back. Nuki delivers, and that one's bounced. It's going to be foul down that first base line, and that one almost hit Anthony Shepler. That would have been disaster for Sonoma. Instead, he has to battle from down 0-2. Shepler's flown out and struck out twice, but a big chance for Shepler to make this really just a blowout affair. Stompers looking to improve to 9-6. Alameda and Walnut Creek, the two teams ahead of him in the standings, played today, and it was Alameda that got the victory. So the Stompers looking to just gain ground on the first place Crawdads. The first meeting between the Stomps and the Dads coming up Sunday, 4 o'clock on the road. 0-2 to Shepler. Struck him out swinging on a curveball. Anthony is retired via the K for now the third consecutive at-bat. That's the first one from Nuki. And it brings up Esteban Sepulveda. Sepulveda's really struggled outside of that one game where he had 2 doubles and a home run.
Well, and he's the catcher about half the days, and he's been a phenomenal catcher. He's thrown some guys out. He's been just a wall behind the dish. That's ultimately what you want from your catcher, and if they can hit, that's a plus, but you'd love him to come up big here.
Throwing somebody out today. That one is outside. Nice block.
And Sepulveda just, getting to travel with the team this low, we got to see the personality of Esteban. He's the life of the party on this team. A great guy, just pulls them together, but would love to pull in a couple of RBIs for himself here.
1-0 on the way. Nuki's done a nice job. He's retired the first 2 he's faced. Sepulveda trying to change that. A 1-0 is a curve that misses. 2-0, and you talk about the slow trip. I think that long bus ride really does a lot to bring the team together. I was going to say early in the season. We're now close-ish to that halfway point, I guess. But it's a long bus ride. You guys get back here at 2:30. You're back at the field again tonight. Dave Hoke said he's not worried. He likes it. Sepulveda sends this one to center. Permanto, there's just so much room out in center field. You're not going to hit one out there. So Sepulveda hits it to the wrong part of the ballpark, 340 feet. The Stompers in the inning get 3 runs on no hits and leave 2. 4 consecutive walks really help them out. We head to the 8th inning. Stompers have doubled up the lead. It's now 6-0. Chris Albee comes out of the bullpen to relieve his William Jessup teammate Micah Marquez. Nails 1 inning. 1 player reached, that was on an error, and he also picked up a strikeout. Albee, 5'10", 185-pound right-hander, comes down from the side. In 3 games, he's pitched 5 innings and allowed just 1 earned run. That was against Menlo Park, the 9th inning of the 2nd game of a doubleheader. It's been a long day. He loaded the bases and actually allowed just 1 run. That was a nice mop-up job from Albee. The first one to the pinch hitter is a check swing to Javen Baxa. Cathedral City, California. Finished up his sophomore year at College of the Desert. He comes on for Tyler Primanto. Here in the 8th, Albee pitches, swing and a miss, 1-1. Baxa, you would assume, will go into center field to begin next inning. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday evening at Arnold Field. The 1-1 is hit foul, 1-2. Jackson Rowland went 6 innings, 3 hits. Micah Marquez worked through the 7th inning, allowing just 1 base runner to reach. This is really what you like from if you're Zach Pace. He says he wants his guys to fill up the zone. 1 walk, that was allowed by Rowland, and only 4 strikeouts. They're putting it in the zone, and the defense is doing the job. 1-2 is outside and low. 2-2, 79 from Chris Albee.
Man, a good chase pitch there. You don't want to put it in the zone up this much. You can give a pitch, and that's exactly what he did.
2-2 coming. Is sent towards right center field. Not very deep. Brady Shannon calling off the center fielder. Makes the play coming towards home plate. And there's 1 down. The last hit for the Philippines baseball group was with 1 out in the 4th. Stomper pitching has really locked it down. Brings up the 9 hitter Malachi Lopez, who's grounded out to 3rd base and grounded out to 2nd base. Righty on righty. Albee pitches, called strike 1. Stompers have another CCL South foe tomorrow. That would be the Arroyo Seco Saints. 0-1. Low, 1-1. And then Saturday, a rematch with the Legends. The Stompers took 3 of 4 from Menlo Park over the weekend. That includes a Sunday sweep, and then the one that everyone has circled. It's the first look at the first place Crawdads. That's Sunday, 4 o'clock against Monte Vista. A 1-1 from Albee is popped up. This one's on the infield. Chris, for a second, wanted to take it himself. Trent Key says absolutely not. The first baseman grabs the pop-up. There's 2 down. And, of course, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, that will have a video feed here on the Stompers YouTube channel. But now you can catch all the action on the Stompers YouTube channel. We'll have an audio-only feed from Walnut Creek on Sunday, and all road games will have audio-only feeds on YouTube now the rest of the way. So no more Mixler to catch the Stompers on the road. Albee pitches, and it's called strike 1. Chris getting ahead and staying ahead here in this 8th inning. Nomar Vasquez has one of the 3 Philippines knocks. That was all the way back in the 3rd inning, and he was caught stealing 2 pitches later by Esteban Sepulveda. Here he cranks one to left, but it's very high and not very deep. Nick Sebastiani, with 1 foot on either side of the foul line, makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning from Chris Albee. Zach Pace's bullpen has been the calling card of this ball club so far this season. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning at Arnold Field. Stompers 6, Philippines Baseball Group nothing. You're watching the Sonoma Stompers Broadcast Network. Ethan Tondag, high school kid, just finished up his time at Fremont. Delivers the first pitch, and Nick Sebastian almost takes his head off on a line drive right back up the middle at 97 miles an hour off the bat of Nick. Feels good. First hit since Friday.
And it closes the book on what was one of the best mop-ups we've seen all season long. Ronan Nuki came in for Hunter Boylan. Bases loaded, no outs. He gave up a sac fly to Connor Pulowski, but then got the next two out. No runs scored on his behalf, and he limited it to just 3 for Boylan.
That one misses outside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Trent Keys has doubled, grounded out, and hit by a pitch. He scored 2 of the 6 runs for Sonoma. Sebastiani up first. He already has a stolen base today and 6 on the season. He doesn't run as a curveball drops in over the corner. Keys goes fishing on that curve again. This one low outside, and the count's 1-2 now. Back to back strikes after falling behind from Todag. Sebastiani not running off first against a lefty, and it's now 3 consecutive curveballs. That one missed and was laid off by Trent Keys. Stompers and the Philippines baseball group, a one-off game here on a Thursday. We'll see them again for 2. That wraps up the CCL slate, actually. That one is low outside, kicks away. Sebastiani takes second base. Will we get a steal? It will be a pass ball. Oh, no. That ball skipped in the far batter's box. I'm going to write wild pitch. Payoff coming, left on left. Todang and Keys. That one's low too, and Trent's aboard for the 3rd time. That on-base percentage continues to climb for Trent, and the Stompers are set up again. The first 5 reached base in the 7th, and the first 2 have reached to set up Gideon Hahn. Hahn left on left against Todang, who is not on the Philippines group roster, so looks like one of the younger guys. Maybe it's a white flag of sorts from Will Pickett's game where his offense has been stymied by Sonoma, and his pitching couldn't find the zone, and that made this a 6-0 ball game. Hahn tries to bunt and just pops it up foul down the 3rd baseline. Hahn was squaring to bunt all 4 pitches that he saw last at bat. He wound up taking a walk on the minimum number of pitches to get the first base. 0-1. Not bunting, taking low. The runner at second is Nick Sebastiani. He singled. The runner at first is Trent Keys. He walked. Ever dangerous Max Handren on deck. On with a slightly open stance from the left side. Swings and misses 1-2.
And a healthy hack there from Hahn, but a good pitch from Ethan Tondag.
The 1-2 on the way. Hahn swings and misses, chases a very nice breaking ball in the dirt. 1 away. 8th strikeout for Philippines pitching, and that brings up Max Handren. He doubled in the first. He had an RBI single in the 3rd, and he walked to load the bases in the 7th inning. So he has an RBI. Landon Akers has 3 RBIs. And then Shannon and Pulaski have 1 each, both of those bases loaded walks. That one's low, 1-0. And Ben Sebastiani's come out on deck to hit for Landon Akers, whose day will end 2 singles, a homer, and a walk, 3 driven in.
Yeah, the home run, the second of Akers' CCL season, and just a great night. You get on base 4 times. You drive in 3.
He also popped one in out-of-league play. The 1-0, Handren takes low, 2-0. Ben Sebastiani on deck is 3 for 13 on the season. Handren takes a called strike, outer corner. Ben got the start yesterday. Fielder's choice, fly out, strikeout, and walk. He hopes to come up with the bases loaded or nobody on base, and Max Handren can clear the bases or put one over the wall. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Handren takes a curveball that drops in there. 2-2, nice pitch. Our TrackMan system agreed with the home plate umpire. Caught a lot of the plate.
That's a great hook there. Evens the count and keeps Handren off balance.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The runners lead from first and second, and Handren takes low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And you wonder if you put the runners in motion here. Max Handren's only struck out twice so far since joining Sonoma in now 5 games. So the chance that he strikes out on this pitch are very low. 3-2, the runners don't go, and Handren pops it up on the infield. And it's the third baseman that makes the catch on an infield fly rule play anyway, and I would have been wrong. It would not have been the decision to send the runners there. Zach Pace is in the dugout, and I'm just up here for a reason. That brings up Ben Sebastiani coming in for Landon Akers. Wonder who's going to play center. But we'll figure that out in the top of the 9th inning. Sebastiani would like to pick up his first league run batted in. Has that chance with a guy at second. The first one is low. That kicks wide from the catcher, but his cousin Nick Sebastiani out at second base will have to hold there a little bit late on the read. This would be nice. One Sebastiani has a chance to drive in the other. 1-0. Low, 2-0.
And you read my mind there, Kieran. The first RBI always means a little bit more, but it'd be that much cooler if he got to drive in his cousin and extend this lead.
2 balls and no strikes. Nick Sebastiani from second, Trent Keys from first. Ben Sebastiani, a huge swing, and fouls it right off of the catcher, Tagium, who is getting just beat up behind the plate this inning especially. How was he wanted to drive in more than just his cousin. He was dreaming of a Landon Akers-esque fly ball to left. Two and one. And Sebastiani broke his arm. That shortened his season at the College of Marin. Looking to take advantage of the at-bats he gets here over the summer. 2-1's on the way. Low. That one kicks away from the catcher all the way to the backstop. The runners move up 90 feet, and now you look back on the first pitch of the at-bat where the ball kicked far enough away for the runners to advance, but the read was late from Sebastiani.
And that one would have for sure scored from third, but now you've got second and third in a 3-1 count. You got to hunt fastball and attack this pitch because a walk ultimately not the worst thing for the pitcher on the mound.
3-1 coming. Sebastiani swings and misses. 78, top of the zone. That's a challenge pitch, and the count runs full 3-2. First base now open. But you don't want to load the bases for Brady Shannon. Payoff coming. Spoiled foul. That's a very nice 3-2 swing from Sebastiani. That's a pitch that's been called all season long. One ball off the outside corner, but not one that you can really do damage with. The right fielder, Leo, is shaded well into the center field gap, so if he can get one down the line, there'll be nobody to get there. Instead, a curveball just has no semblance of break, and Tagium leapt up to keep it from going to the screen. The bases are loaded for Brady Shannon.
Again, ultimately that walk, not the worst thing. Sure, you were a strike away from getting out of the inning, but you don't give up a hit there. Now you can start fresh with Brady Shannon. You got to pitch ahead in the count here. All you need is a ground ball, but you can't afford another walk.
First one to Shannon low. Nice block by the catcher Tagium. That one saves a run. Bases full of Stompers looking to add to what's right now a healthy 6-0 lead. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Righty on lefty. Shannon to Tanding, and that one is, I beg your pardon, Tanding to Shannon, and it's the hitter that swings and misses. The count's 1-1. 1-1. Left on right. Shannon stands in and fouls it back to the screen. 1-2. That's a big hack from Brady Shannon. Second on the team in total bases. He is tied atop in extra base hits, but also leads the league in strikeouts. Baxa now in center field for Primanto. 1-2. Brady has to battle from behind. It's low. That one is a nice block by Tagium to keep it in front. The count runs to 2-2.
And he's done a great job behind the dish all night. He's taken a few off the chest, I believe a couple off the arm, but hanging in there doing a job.
2-2 pitch coming to Brady Shannon with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stompers have already scored 2 runs on bases loaded walks, and they're 1 pitch away from tacking on another. Counts run full to Brady Shannon, and if he can find a gap, the carousels are going. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, which means something's got to give on a payoff to Brady Shannon. Hitting room in right center and on the right side. The first baseman Story behind the runner, 1 step towards the bag. The payoff to Shannon is low ball 4, so Sebastiani can walk home. It's the 4th run scored on a bases loaded walk and the 2nd bases loaded walk for Brady Shannon today. And the 2 through 5 spots in the order have driven in all 7 runs.
And that's exactly why they're hitting in that part of the lineup. A great card from Zach Pace tonight. Doing a good job putting the guys in the right position, and they're doing a good job capitalizing on it.
Pulaski has one of those RBIs, a sac fly. He's behind 0-1. He's also walked, struck out, and bounced out. He was picked off first base. Again, the right fielder, Leo, shaded towards center. That one's low, 1-1. Stompers got a run in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th, 1 home, but 3 aboard in the 8th. Pulowski fouls it back to the screen, 0-2. But up to the top of that backstop. The screen goes up pretty high. That one hit the chain link fence above that. Keys from 3rd, Sebastiani from 2nd, Shannon from 1st. The 0-2 to Pulowski almost hits him. It's 1-2. Stompers and the Philippines baseball group play on here in the bottom of inning number 8. 2-2 to Pulowski. Low 3-2. One more pitch out of the zone would be the 5th bases loaded walk allowed by Philippines pitching. Payoff pitch. The runners will be going once more. Outside and low. 3 consecutive walks with the bases loaded, and the Stompers' lead is now 8-0.
Yeah, and that's just not winning baseball. You got to throw strikes because this far into the ball game, the Stompers are well aware that their pitch selection can be pretty picky at the dish.
Philippines eyed Pickens looked down to the bullpen. I don't know if he's going to make a move. This seems sort of like you hung your guy out to dry. He's already down 6-0 entering the inning. He's went single to Sebastiani. Walk, strikeout, pop-up. There was 2 on, 2 outs. It looked like he'd gotten out of it. But no, walk. Has loaded the bases. Handren has an RBI. Akers has 3. Shannon and Pulowski have 2 each. The middle of the lineup producing big time for Sonoma.
And it all started with Ben Sebastiani walking with 2 outs. We had talked about it a little bit yesterday that it felt like every time the Stompers put in a pinch hitter, they struck out. And Ben Sebastiani saw some pitches, fouled a couple off, worked a walk, which has led to 2 more behind him. That's just a great team AB that has allowed the Stompers to continue the inning and continue to build on their lead.
Bases still loaded. Anthony Shepler takes outside and low 1-0. Shepler has struck out 3 times. One of those was with the bases loaded back in the 7th inning. Feels like an eternity ago. The 1-0. Shepler takes a called strike. Same spot over the outer third, but he brought it up enough to clip the bottom of the knees of Anthony Shepler. 1-1. Only Stomper not to reach base. Well, him and Esteban Sepulveda. That one is foul down that first base line, and that's a very, very close one. And that just took 3 RBIs away from Shepler, but I think it's where it crosses the base, right? It definitely landed foul. The first bounce past the bag was definitely foul. Zach Pace stays in the dugout. That might be a different story if this was a 0-0 ball game, but it's 8-0 Sonoma. And also that's one you're never going to get overturned. 1-2. Shepler takes inside with the curveball at 68, 2-2. I mean, that's one we see the umpires meet in the CCL a lot and change a call. That's one where it would make the most sense. The home plate umpire has just as good a view on that ball down the line. You can go from fair to foul. You can't really go from foul to fair. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Shepler swings and misses. He is retired for now the 5th time today, and the inning is finally over. But for Sonoma, it's 2 runs on just 1 hit, and they leave them loaded once more. We head to the 9th. The Stompers in cruise control with an 8-0 lead. Stick around for the conclusion. Stompers on top, 8-0. Noah Peterson will pinch hit against the new pitcher, Jackson Rowland. Or beg your pardon, the new pitcher, Nick Poles, who has thrown 2 shutout innings with no strikeouts, 2 walks, and a hit. He'll face Noah Peterson, and the count's 1-1 on him. Pinch hits for Owen Stevenson, as the Stompers looking to just nurse these 3 outs away. A 1-1. Outside 2-1 from Poles. Freshman from Modesto, went to Modesto JC, stands 6'3", 215 pounds. Two-one. High 3-1. Three-one coming from Poles to the pinch hitter, and this one sent to very shallow left field. It's lost in the lights, and it's dropped down the left field line. And cruising into second base is Peterson with a double. And that's Ben Sebastiani who lost it in the lights. Nick Sebastiani moves to center field. And he just had no idea where that baseball was. It's the dust time. The lights are on. They haven't really taken complete effect out there. That ball landed maybe 30 feet to the left of where Ben was staring up to the heavens. So a double, a successful pinch hit appearance for Noah Peterson. He's at second base. Poles delivers the first pitch, fastball for a called strike 1. Stompers pitching went 8 shutout innings and lost the shutout in the 9th on Sunday's Game 2 against Menlo Park. They're in jeopardy of losing a shutout here, but the lead now is 8 runs to none.
And ultimately, you'd love the shutout as a staff, but it does not really change anything.
All that matters is the +1 added in the win column, which is all but guaranteed now for Sonoma in the bottom of the 9th. A pitch, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dylan Tagium entered play today, a .313 hitter with 2 doubles and 4 RBIs. He's gone 0 for 3 tonight. Stats tell us he's not going to go 0 for 4, but Nicholas Poles looking to prove me wrong on that one. The pitch in there for a called strike 2. And this is how you draw it up. Your starter goes 6, and you use 3 relievers for 1 inning each. 1-2. Poles sets high, drops the hands, and delivers. It's bounced foul towards the Sonoma Stomper dugout, and it kicks to the first base coach. It's the Sebastiani's now in left and right field. Ben in left, or beg your pardon, left to center is Nick Sebastiani, Brady Shannon in right. Shepler, Hahn, Handren, and Keys. The infield stays the same. 1-2. High 2-2. Nice take from Tagium. I mean, that's what a .438 on-base percentage gets you. It's hard to reach base over 4 out of 10 at-bats if you don't have a good eye. 2-2. Offer on the way. Poles to Tagium. It's bounced foul again. There's our protect hacks on fastballs on the outer third. I don't know, he's 87.
Yeah, just spoiling until he can get a pitch he likes and can put into a gap. You don't want to swing too big here. You can't get 8 runs with 1 swing. Just need to pass the torch.
2-2. That one's too far outside. Kicks to the backstop. Wild pitch moves Peterson to third. And Tagium, as you mentioned, a great at-bat. What Coach Mayo, the Stompers hitting coach, always says is with 2 strikes, you're going to protect away and attack inside. And to Poulos' credit, he's only gone away, hasn't given him an inner third pitch to attack. It's not even looking to slam the door, it's looking to just click the lock. It's all but closed already. Payoff now coming, Poulos to Tagium, and it's a broken bat ground ball to second base. Handren fields and throws. It's a productive out. It's an RBI, the first for the Philippines by any hitter. Tagium's 5th run driven in on the year, but now the bases are empty. The putout goes 4-3.
Now batting, left fielder number 15, Jonathan Torrente.
That brings up Jonathan Torrente. 3 for 15 on the season. A single and 2 ground balls to Max Handren at second base. Pitch outside, 1-0. If you're Poulos, you have a 7-run lead. You're really just trying to put the ball in the zone. And this game packed up and over with. 1-0 over Butlow, 88 miles an hour. Split the plate, but below the knees. 2-0 on the way. Right on left. The pitch. This one's grounded to the left side this time. Hahn waits on it and throws in time to get him. We talk a lot about charging the ball at Arnold Field. Hahn let that one come to him, but still got Torrente by half a step. And JJ Fagfumsent represents the last chance.
Shortstop number 1, JJ Fagfumsent.
Righty on righty. Poulos looking to end it. First one low, 1-1. We're back on the air tomorrow. 5:50 pregame show and a 6:05 first pitch between the Stompers and the Arroyo Seco Saints, who've just lost down in slow, and this ball game won't end just yet. It's the second single today for Fagfumsent. He's on first with 2 away, and Stefan Leo will get a chance. So it's 9 o'clock now. We remember from yesterday, if they don't stop, it's 5 hours. That would get them into Sonoma at 2 o'clock in the morning.
And almost exactly when we left last night.
That one's outside. But the Stompers came and won after the late night bus ride.
Knocking on wood, of course.
No. It's 8-1 in the bottom of the 9th. I can announcers jinx this one as much as I like. The Stompers are going to win, and it's a swing and a miss. Leo is very late on 86. The count's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Poulos pitches, called strike 2. And the Stomper fans, a lot of them left. This one, a lot of them left in the ballpark, I should say. Still a good crowd for a Thursday evening. 1-2 from Poulos. Right down the middle for a called strike 3. Stomps win by the final score of 8-1. And it's just the way we like it, as Coach Gels would say during his 39 years at Sonoma State. The final score 8-1. 8-1 beats 1-5-0. Your winning pitcher, Jackson Rowland, 6 strong. The loser, Andres Perez, 3 earned over 5 innings of work. But Sonoma, they got the long ball today. Landon Akers, the big blow.
Yeah, and just a great team effort. It started with Rowland. He cruised through 6 innings, just 3 hits, and then the bullpen was nails down the stretch. The offense produced when they got guys on, and that's what you talked to Zach Pace about before this one. You go quiet The team goes quiet middle innings into the late. They get 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th. They don't even have to hit in the 9th, and that's exactly the way you draw it up. A great team performance. The defense was also very solid tonight as well. Came back from the road trip, continued the momentum, and got a big one at home.
Stompers were patient at the plate. This is sort of a conversation we've gone back and forth on. You want to swing the bat when you have that bases loaded situations. The Stompers didn't have to today. They scored 5 runs on bases loaded walks.
Yeah, the approach was there, up and down the lineup. They were patient, played small ball. That's what this team prides themselves on, is playing the small ball, being scrappy, the passed balls, moving up, getting walks, hit by pitches, singles, and to just random little holes in the field. They did all of that today. Patience when the bullpen wasn't performing well, and it got them a victory.
Yeah, Stompers get it done. Today improved to 9-6 on the season. 5-4 here at Arnold Field. They look to build on those winning ways tomorrow against the Arroyo Seco Saints. They take the long bus ride up from Southern California. We'll do the totals one last time. For the Stompers, 8 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. For the Philippines baseball group, 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. The middle of the lineup's big. Akers, the big blow, a 2-run home run. He'd finish with 3 RBIs. Brady Shannon and Connor Pulowski get a couple RBIs of their own. Jackson Rowland, 6 innings of shutout ball, gives way to Micah Marquez, Chris Albee, and Nick Poles to finish off the final 3. The winner, Jackson Rowland. The loser, Andres Perez. These two teams meet up again for a 2-game set here at Arnold Field. That one coming up in late July. But that's our coverage for now. The Stomps 9-6 in a battle to make that playoffs coming up in a while. Because obviously not until early August. Stompers win at 8-1 for everyone that helps this broadcast go. And my partner, Roman Raffelli, will be back tomorrow at 5:50. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening. I'm saying so long from Sonoma.